White flag is raised. And thereof in the forerunner Barberstown Castle. Grade 1 Novice chase over 2 miles and 11 fences, and it is Fabiolo just leading up. Stable companion Decisive Dynamo as these two build up an early advantage over fellow stable companion Sanois. The back marker, the most more restrained and rank outsider Indiana Jones. Fence 1 of 11. Decisive Dynamo shifts on in front of Fabiolo. Over in third, Sanois. Fourth of the 4 is Indiana Jones as they go uphill to fence number 2. And it's the dual course winner, Decisive Dynamo, opening up a 2 lead over Fabiolo. Further break then to Sanois and Indiana Jones as they link up with fence number 2. Far from fluent, Fabiolo, the odds-on favourite, as they go downhill to fences 3 and 4. Decisive Dynamo and Danny Mullins in front of Fabiolo and Paul Town, and third is Sanois, the man of Mark Walsh, as these three break clear of Indiana Jones and Darrow Keefe. Fence number 3 will be the first of 2 ditches. Already nicely spaced out, it's Decisive Dynamo in the lead. From Fabiolo, Sanois, and the back marker is Indiana Jones. Over the third they go. And again, sketchy Fabiolo in second. On to number 4. Decisive Dynamo has opened up. Good 4-length advantage over Fabiolo. Mistake that time by Sanois, who's now further adrift of the first couple. And then Indiana Jones. So down the far side they go to the first of 3 fences. 7 left to jump. Out in front is Decisive Dynamo. Fabiolo second, a resounding winner over the 2 Arkles, and then Sanois with the back marker continuing to be Indiana Jones. Fence number 5, Decisive Dynamo, brushed through the top. Fabiolo second, Sanois third, with the back marker Indiana Jones. Order unchanged, going to the middle fence in the back straight. This will be 6 from the finish. Decisive Dynamo up and over from Fabiolo, flicking through it, and then Sanois and Indiana Jones. Now to the second and final ditch, 5 fences from the finish in the Grade 1 Barberstown Castle Novice chase. Decisive Dynamo had to stretch for that. Fabiolo edging a little bit closer in second, and third is Sanois with the back marker Indiana Jones. Just over 5 furlongs to go and 4 fences left to jump. Still in the same order from the time they started. Decisive Dynamo leads out of the back straight, Fabiolo, Sanois, and closing in 4th place is Indiana Jones. Coming along the side of the track with 4 fences to jump. Decisive Dynamo continues at the head of the race. And second is Fabiolo, then Sanois and Indiana Jones. The 4th last, Decisive Dynamo up and over from Fabiolo. 2.5 to 3 lengths between them, then Sanois, kept company at the rear by Indiana Jones as they come to the 3rd last fence. Decisive Dynamo yet to be headed. Fabiolo second, then Sanois and Indiana Jones, who have both closed up as they run the home turn. 2 fences left to jump. Decisive Dynamo swings in with a couple of lengths advantage over Fabiolo, and third is Indiana Jones, who's knocked back to last, ridden along Sanois. Swinging in for the final 2 fences, Decisive Dynamo and Danny Mullins, with coming stand side Fabiolo and Paul Townend. Ridden along in third is Indiana Jones and Darrow Keefe, and then Sanois and Mark Walsh, and Fabiolo has picked off at ease Decisive Dynamo, and third is Indiana Jones, and then Sanois into the final fence. It is Fabiolo opening up a clear advantage, and over the last in style. In second place is Decisive Dynamo. There's an engine under this bonnet as Fabiolo goes through the season unbeaten over fences in the Barberstown Castle Novice. Both Grade 1s go to Paul Town and Winnie Mullins. Second, Decisive Dynamo. Third, Indiana Jones. Fourth and last, Sanois.
I think I'm right, isn't it? I think it's 10, isn't it, now for the week? but we'll do numbers in a minute. The lads were just saying, are there many more talented than this in Cheltenham?
He looks very talented. He looks different class. I doubt it over 2 miles. Energamine, I don't know. You know.
He's got pace.
You mean over 2 miles over fences? Is that it?
Any distance, just raw class, ability, talent.
Anyway.
You're throwing some names at me, but he's right up there, isn't he? He's very, very good.
He's very good. To do that coming back from Cheltenham, he just looked a different class than what's in Ireland at the moment, anyhow, over fences.
You mentioned that he's got all that speed. He looks relentless and remorseless, though. He looks a real...
He just looks at ease doing it. You know, I was amazed. I thought about 4 out, I was wondering, was Paul showing distress signals, but the minute he just let click and pulled him out, he just clicked into another gear. He just moved up a gear and he was doing it at his ease. So, fingers crossed, he can just hold them together, you know.
Is that in any way going to be a challenge for you or not? Pretty straightforward?
I hope not. It's just, racehorses being racehorses, they find ways of injuring themselves, you know, so. Okay. Yeah. All right, thanks.
There you go. Well done. El Fabiolo, what a class act he is, running in the double green silks of Simon Menier and Isaac Swade, sharing a brilliant, brilliant season. Just how much pleasure has the last few weeks given you, Isaac?
It's been both nerve-wracking with a lot of pleasure thrown in. The higher the grades, the more nerve, the more anxiety, but we cannot but be thankful for this season.
It might just be worth winding back a little bit and reminding everybody how the ownership partnership initially came about. Am I right in saying that it was Simon who persuaded you to take the plunge, or not?
It was actually very little persuasion. We met in Singapore, and Simon had just come over from Cheltenham with some great success without me being involved. He was telling me about it. The more he spoke to me about it, it was like, wow, I'd like to do that. My parents used to love horses, so it's kind of nascent in me. And there it was at the Raffles Hotel. That's why when you look at our French breds, they're called Raffles Classic, Raffles Face, etc. So that's what
it was the week after Un Artiste won the Fred Winter.
So you were completely high on life, high on your Cheltenham Festival success.
Couldn't take the smile off my face. And Isaac was saying, what have you been doing? So I was telling him all about the Cheltenham Festival. And then I was cognizant that maybe he's not interested in racing and didn't want to bore him. But every time I changed the subject, Isaac came back to horses and horse racing.
And is that because it was quite clear to you, Isaac, how much of a kick Simon was getting out of it?
Yes, and also for me it was a bit of closing the circle, because my parents were great friends with a very famous trainer, Maurice Zilber.
Yes, of course.
And so I went to the track quite a bit, but then, professional career, other things to do, it all went away. So Simon really helped me to close that circle, and for that I'm thankful.
This circle has been completed beautifully today by El Fabiolo's success here. Just how excited are you by what he could yet become, even after what he's done?
Well, he's still pretty much a blank canvas, Nick, because I mean he's only run 3 times now over fences, and relatively few miles on the clock. So, as we all know, with good horses, it's a question of keeping them in one piece, keeping them sound. He's deserved his summer break now, so we'll make plans for next season.
And when he beat good horses at the Dublin Racing Festival, we knew he was good. Then he beat John Bonnet at Cheltenham. He's done what he's done today imperiously. Do you see him as an out-and-out 2-miler or not?
Well, I don't see any reason to go up in distance when the way he's performing at 2 miles. So I think he is a 2-miler, yeah.
And I asked Willie, maybe mischievously after the race, are there many more talented horses in Cheltenham? And he ummed and ahed a bit, but the only other name he could come up with was one was Energumen, who won the other day, and the other was Ampere Pass. To have arguably two of the best horses in that stable, that must feel quite special.
It's special. It's something to be thankful for, and it's a bit of a blessing.
And it's another sleepless night tonight, because odds-on favourites, a little bit like penalty kicks at football. You try and switch your brain off and say just be patient, but then by the same token, an odds-on favourite is odds-on for a reason.
We're looking forward to seeing him. We thoroughly enjoyed seeing El Fabiolo. Gentlemen, thanks so much.
Thank you very much, Nick.
Thank you. Thanks, Nick.
Thank you.
Watch live racing now on racingtv.com.